Sharon, tell me about Astia itself, how it came about and the kind of company it is.
Sure. Astia is a global organization founded 15 years ago in Silicon Valley by a woman named Kate Muther, who at the time was the chief marketing officer at Cisco, and took a look around Silicon Valley to say, where are the women? Are they in engineering? Are they in the cap table? Are they in the investment room? And just really founded Astia to address those three core questions.
And I've seen you last year at the event at Inspirefest last year, and you were very vocal about the statistics that you guys have unearthed, that 7% of partners in venture capital firms are women. Not only that, an equal number, 7% of startups led by women only win investment. And from talking to people around this area, this problem is only getting worse. Could you tell me a bit about your perspective on this and what can be done to solve this problem? It's like only in the last year or 2 years, it seems to most people that the statistics are emerging more, particularly when it comes to minorities as well. But it's been a long-running problem.
It is, and we've been tracking the problem for the full 15 years that we've existed. It's our observation, and actually some good data divers have noticed this as well, that the two questions you asked me are actually very closely correlated. The number of women venture partners tends to, or the percentage of, tends to track exactly to the percentage of investment dollars that flow into women. It's not that women investors somehow invest more in women, it's actually having women in the peer group, the elite peer group of general partnership within venture firms, translates into investment flowing into women-led companies. And you're correct, over our entire span, when Astia was founded, about 2% of venture capital was invested in women-led deals. Today, we're as high as 5% by some numbers, so not much change. Interestingly, at the height of the dot-com bubble, we hit 8% of venture partners were women, and subsequently 8% of venture capital dollars were invested in women-led deals.
Because that's something that came up last year, and I think it was Adam who had said last year during the panel that investors seem to only invest in people like themselves. Yeah. That sounds like the mirror thing. Is that the problem here?
You know, I do think pattern recognition is part of the problem. And you asked me in your prior question, I didn't really answer, what do I see the solution to be? Today I have great clarity on the solution. The solution is for us investors. It really is ours to fix. Our call to action is invest. It's not to mentor women, it's not to support women, it's not actually even to dive into the numbers anymore. We know the numbers, we've known them for quite a long time. Our job is to say, why do I have no women in my portfolio? What am I doing to ensure I have a diverse portfolio? Because diversification in a portfolio is an unarguable advantage. And that includes gender diversity. And so if we as investors are true to what we know, which is we know investment, then our call to action is to invest.
And the people themselves, I mean, the people you're investing in, I mean, you hear the statistics about participation in college, role models, all these different things. But when I do personally meet a lot of the founders and entrepreneurs of these companies, they don't seem in any way daunted by the statistics we're talking about here, but they're just going for it. Yeah. Do you see more of them going for it? Do you see just this time we're in, just kind of like, I mean, I'd be appalled, I could look at Silicon Valley, the TV show, and it just shows all men, you know, for example. I mean, but when you meet people in Dublin, girls starting companies, they don't seem to even care about that stuff. They're just doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're highlighting exactly the truth of entrepreneurship, which is they don't care what investors are doing. The people missing out on it are not the entrepreneurs. They're going forward and they're doing it. And women are starting businesses by some counts at 5 times the rate of men. So we're not slowing them down. The difference is they're growing their businesses without the benefit of our capital. And we're missing out on those investment opportunities. So where I see the harm being done is investors are missing out. Economies suffer because it does take those women-led companies longer to grow. Interestingly, innovation misses out because we see very different types of innovation when you have inclusive teams.
You're missing out on half the world's population.
Oh, God, yeah. It's deplorable. And truly, you mentioned Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is the worst of it. As someone who invests regardless of geography, I have investments, my portfolio spans Silicon Valley, actually across North America. I also have investments in Europe. My observation is it's actually hardest for women in Silicon Valley, where people scream the loudest that it's a meritocracy. And I think that fundamentally therein lies the issue in Silicon Valley. It's really difficult to do self-reflection if you have a belief system that you don't need to reflect on yourself because you're already doing it so well.
Speaking of doing things well, you guys had a showcase today. You brought 4 female-led startups before an investment panel, 2 of which Astia have invested in. Tell us a bit about what you saw today. Like, we were interviewing the companies today ourselves, but tell us what impression they have made on you, the kind of people they are, and I suppose the kind of message you'd like to give to investors.
Yeah, and to be clear, we were looking at these deals for investment. Thank you for highlighting that. We brought together the investment community here to help us being Astia Angels, take a closer look at some companies we're considering investing in. As you mentioned, we just closed on 2 of them. So we are very active investors. We have completed 36 investments into, we've invested into 36 companies, 46 investments altogether, because we do follow on. And what we were very excited about by the 4 companies that we saw is the investment community here in Dublin validated that these are really exciting investment opportunities. And that these companies, to your point earlier, these are entrepreneurs. They are undaunted by what investors are doing. But if we're smart investors, we're going to open our eyes to the opportunity, open our ears to their leadership. Because as you heard, if you heard the presentations, these are companies doing amazing change the world things. We were very honored and pleased that we were able to take a closer look. And hopefully you'll be able to hear announcements from us about some of these investments.
Sharon, thank you very much.
Want to be in the audience next time? Click here for tickets to Inspirefest 2017.